For centuries, we believed the Aztecs were the most brutal civilization of the ancient world. But what if I told you, deep within the rainforests of Central America, another empire possessed a far more disturbing, far more mathematical obsession with human blood? The Maya. They didn't just kill for their gods. They believed they were feeding them to keep the universe from collapsing into eternal darkness. But who were these gods that terrified their own people? And what were they willing to do to keep them satisfied? The answer is carved in stone. To understand the brutality, you must first understand the fear. To the Maya, life was not a gift. It was a loan. According to their sacred book, the Popol Vuh, the gods created humans from maize and water. But this creation came at a terrible price. The gods had sacrificed their own blood to give life to the cosmos. Every sunrise, every drop of rain, every harvest was a direct result of this divine sacrifice. The universe, in their eyes, was a giant celestial machine, and blood was its only fuel. But the standard was high. Just any blood would not suffice. The gods demanded the purest, the most powerful life force. And this is where the Maya differ drastically from the Aztecs. While Aztecs mostly sacrificed enemy warriors, the Maya believed the most potent blood ran through the veins of their own kings and queens. This was known as bloodletting, or auto-sacrifice. In a gruesome public ritual, the king would use a razor-sharp obsidian knife, or a stingray spine, to pierce his own tongue, cheeks, or genitals. His blood would be collected on bark paper and then burned. As the smoke rose to the heavens, it was believed to open a portal, allow the king to communicate directly with his ancestors and the gods. This wasn't punishment. It was a divine obligation. The queen, too, had to participate, pulling a thick, thorn-studded rope through her pierced tongue. The pain was agonizing, but the survival of the world depended on it. But sometimes auto-sacrifice was not enough. When drought struck, when war loomed, or when a new pyramid was built, the gods demanded a complete soul. They demanded death. The highest honor for a captive enemy king was to be ritually decapitated by the Mayan high priest. This act was a dramatic reenactment of their mythology, where the gods themselves were beheaded and reborn. However, the most recognized method was heart extraction. High atop the limestone pyramids, a victim, painted in sacred blue, was held down by 4 priests. The high priest, dressed entirely in black, would slice open the chest with a flint knife and rip out the still-beating heart. The heart was a gift for the sun god. The body was thrown down the temple stairs. But there is one more method, far more eerie, unique to the northern Maya. A method that utilized the natural geology of the Yucatan Peninsula. Beneath the jungle floor lies a network of massive, water-filled sinkholes, known as cenotes. The Maya believed these were portals to Xibalba, the terrifying underworld, the place of fright. In times of extreme drought, they didn't just pray for rain. They sent messengers, men, women, and even children, laden with gold, jade, and precious stones, were hurled into the depths of the sacred cenote. They were offerings to Chayak, the volatile god of rain. They didn't always die immediately. Many would swim until they drowned, alone, in the dark, deep within the belly of the earth. The Mayan obsession with blood sacrifice wasn't a product of mindless cruelty. It was a product of faith, a horrifying, logical, mathematical faith. They were prisoners of their own calendar, forced to pay an eternal debt to gods who required death. so that the living could survive one more day.